Kelly Ayotte sending an urgent warning about ISIS, saying a containment strategy is not going to cut it. Senator Kelly Ayotte joins us. Good evening, sir. Or ma'am. Sorry. Good evening, Senator.
Good evening, Greta. Good to be with you.
Containment, you're making reference to the fact that the president has said early on in containment. What is it the president should be doing?
Well, here's the problem, Greta. We have gotten inconsistent and mixed messages. Yesterday, the vice president's in New Hampshire. He says we're going to follow ISIS to the gates of hell. At the very same day, the president is saying we're going to shrink ISIS to a manageable problem. So that message is going to these terrorists. We need a strategy to defeat ISIS. And we need to hear that from the president. We need to have that type of leadership. To hear him say, when you combine his prior statement that we don't have a strategy along with the inconsistent statements, it makes the terrorists think that we don't have the resolve, we don't know what to do, and it's time for him to step up. And obviously we're going to have to bring this strategy beyond containment. It's going to be expanded airstrikes. We're going to have to continue to really give the Kurds the support they need on the ground that they've asked for. In addition to that, continue to lead a coalition. And we've got to lead a coalition, but people are looking for leadership from the United States of America, and we have these inconsistent messages coming from this administration.
Can we really beat ISIS without, number one, going into Syria, and number two, putting boots on the ground? We have tough words from Prime Minister Cameron. The Prime Minister of Australia has said extreme force is justified, but no boots on the ground from Australia. They'll send some sort of support. Everyone's willing to sort of do it from 35,000 feet. But is that realistic to do that way?
Well, Greta, I think that should be the foremost tactic that is not being employed right now. We've seen the effectiveness of some of the airstrikes, but they need to be expanded, and we do have to address their safe haven in Syria. So you can't ignore the Syria issue if you're going to get at ISIS. So I think looking at airstrikes in Syria, but we need a plan from the president as what's going to be effective. But in terms of ground troops, I mean, we know that the Kurds are partners that we can work with. Particularly, we've seen some of that with the work we did on the Mosul Dam. But this has to be expanded, and we do have to get other nations involved in this and ask them to step up with what they're saying to match what needs to be done to defeat ISIS. But no one's going to do any of this without American leadership. And with the inconsistency coming out of this administration, we're not going to be able to bring people together, and we need the president to step up now.
Senator, thank you.
Thanks, Greta.